Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GOT Council. How are we all? Hopefully, everyone's having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And of course, welcome back to another Liverpool news episode for you guys this evening. It has been a while. I think we last posted, I think 4 days ago. I think it was 5 days ago. So, again, not much news coming out, of course. Obviously, it's been a repeat over the last couple of days. But again, we do have a little bit of news to bring you guys tonight anyway. Hopefully everyone's had a fantastic weekend. Hopefully everyone's had a fantastic Tuesday. We're on Tuesday today. For some reason in my head I thought we were on Monday, but yes, we're on Tuesday anyway. But of course, as you lot have seen from the thumbnail and the title, of course, tonight we are going to be talking about Mickey van der Ven. Of course, there is a bit of news concerning him, of course, and Liverpool's pursuit of the Wolfsburg centre half as well. Of course, we'll be speaking about Nicolai Barella as well. Of course, Inter Milan have set a price tag now on Barella, and of course, it's a very expensive price tag, isn't it, chat, as well. Of course, we're also going to be speaking, of course, about Celta Vigo's centre mid, of course, Gabri Veiga. Obviously, there's been a bit of news concerning him as well. And of course, we're going to be discussing Ryan Gravenberch back in the Liverpool news bubble. Of course, after there's been a few whispers over a few conversations as well over the last couple of days, of course, concerning him. And I think, of course, at the moment, we're not going to hear anything much because of course it is the Euro under 21 tournament as well at the moment. Of course, I think it starts tomorrow, so again, obviously, with, for example, like news concerning Kefran Turam, that's going to be, I think, on hold until we know where France are going to be in that tournament. Of course, I think if it is, if France do go to the final, which realistically they should be somewhere close to that with their squad as well. But again, I don't think now we'll hear anything in terms of Kefran Turam news, maybe until July time now, maybe the middle of July for that instance. So again, it's frustrating because I know everyone wants everything done straight away, me included. But look, of course, hopefully we will have a successful summer. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's the biggest hope and dream. Anyway, am I all good? For some reason, why was my laptop frozen? No, my laptop's frozen. There we go. So I think I'm all okay. Let me know, chat. I will quickly have to. I will have to quickly probably reset that if it doesn't load back up. Why is it not working? Of course, as soon as we go live, everything goes wrong. Chat, you should know this by now. It all bloody goes wrong anyway. I'm gonna have to quickly reset the laptop. A quick second. Anyway, but let me know, guys, how you lot are as well. Otherwise, if I can't get this to work, we have no show because I haven't got any of the clip ups on my phone. I've got it all on the laptop. So yeah, hopefully we can get it sorted. If not, then yeah, it is the end of the show before it's already begun. This should be absolutely fun. Anyway, but I can quickly see a few comments. Anyway, we'll quickly go onto my phone and have a look anyway. But Brian's in saying hi, Connor, as well. Evening, Bri. Mark's in as well, saying evening, Brian Connor as well. Chantal is in as well, saying I'm just getting frustrated with all these players, and we are interested, but nothing happening. We need to get rid of our cheapstake owners. Yeah, I think everyone's in agreement in that stage. To be fair as well, too many tournaments on the go. Yeah, no, it is at the minute. Of course, I think you've got the Euro 21. Obviously, the Nations League just finished with Spain winning it. For some reason, this doesn't want to work. Hang on, I'm gonna chat. I'm just going to quickly power this down and restart it. But yeah, no, of course you've got the Euro tournament. I think it starts tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure how long it lasts for. I know it's in the middle of July. I know that for a fact, but I don't know exactly when it does finish. And that, of course, there was an article piece, I think, by, I can't remember who it was. Was it by James Pierce? Or somebody like that? Ooh. As we're in the darkness now. Hello, chat. It's all kicking off tonight as well. For some reason, Jesus Christ, everything is going wrong right now, chat. Anyway, I think we're still live anyway. I'm not, again, guys, let me know if I'm live or not right now. Apologies, we are in the darkness. For some reason, everything's just gone wrong. Of course, I haven't been around my setup as well for the last weekend. Of course, I was in Liverpool over the weekend, but yeah, everything just goes to absolute mess when we're not live. Everything goes to mess. Let me see if quickly it will light up. Yeah, it will light up. There we go. We're back. There we go. Apologies, chat, as well. Let me quickly see if I can sign into this. There we go. But yeah, hopefully, and fingers crossed, hopefully I can get back in. Otherwise, we're not going to be going live anymore. It's going to be like that's the thing, though. It's annoying when everything just fails now. Like it couldn't have failed like an hour ago, 2 hours ago. No, it had to happen right here, right now. Anyway, but nevertheless, anyway, we are going to troop on anyway, and hopefully all the things are still on this. Otherwise, we are buggered for the stream. Let me quickly. There we go. We're back in. What else we got anyway? Mark saying, yeah, all good. Thank you, boys, as well. What makes me laugh is you always hear managers say all the work is done before the season ends. As far as transfers go, yet in truth, nothing has been done. I'm not just on about Liverpool. Yeah, no, it, again, you look at Arsenal, for example. I think at the minute, Arsenal, it's a real complicated situation there. Um, I think, yeah, as Brian has said, but there, we got McAllister done early. I think we've made good progress. And again, the thing I'd say to anyone moaning, of course, I'm in the same boat as everyone else. I think, look, I would have much preferred us to get Kefren Turam and McAllister done before the whole international period as well. But it's that sense of you look at other teams in Europe at the moment. Again, City haven't signed anyone yet. Yeah, City haven't signed anyone. Arsenal haven't signed anyone. Of course, they have the intentions to sign people, but nothing's done officially yet. United haven't signed anyone yet, and that's the thing. Liverpool have moved already this summer. And again, I think even now, I think if we were to put a bet on who I think Liverpool will definitely sign next, Kefren Turam would be number one on that list. I do think behind the scenes the groundwork's done already. I just think the problem is with the difference between Kefren Turam and probably Alexis McAllister is Alexis McAllister had a lot more, things or a lot more activity around him than what maybe Kefren Turam has in particular. Again, I think the only teams at the moment that's been linked towards Turam is both Liverpool and Newcastle. I think if Newcastle were to just tomorrow go, right, we're going to go and get him right here, right now, I think Liverpool will be straight on the door in that regard as well. So look, again, it is very frustrating, but look, it is taking the piss. It's taking the mick. But nevertheless, guys, let's say the best thing about the whole transfer situation is Martin Tyler is no longer commentary. Well, the lead commentator on Sky Sports, it's now Peter Jury, which is the best transfer of all this summer anyway. And of course, glad for Peter Jury that he's finally got the top job in the UK as well anyway. But let's dive into the comments before we do rattle through tonight's news. Yeah, or kind of don't break anything like that. To be fair, I don't know what happened. For some reason, it just decided to go. No, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. You can go away. But yeah, it is what it is. All good on my end, Connor as well. Thank you, chat. Obviously, good evening, Rob as well. Hopefully, you're right, lads as well. Mark as well. Connor, you're not even fed up with transfer activity. I'm fed up. Like, I want to report more news. Again, I want to speak more on Liverpool signing people. But the thing is, I'm more. I've seen people lose their rag going, oh, like we're only going to sign McAllister. We're done this, that, and the other for this summer. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, we're not that stupid. If it comes the end of the transfer window and we have only signed McAllister, then yes, you can tear the house down. You can absolutely go mental in the comments. You can do this, you can do that. That's fair enough. But as of right here, right now, like I said, barely any teams in Europe have done the deals complete, and all complete deals in that aspect of things. Look, the transfer window's only been open for 6 days in that regard as well. So, like, I'm optimistic. Of course, I do like to see that the better side of things in that regards. But yeah, apart from that, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we do this summer, of course. But Soteram not coming. He's definitely coming to Liverpool. Well, I hope so anyway. You'll hear Sky Sports talk about that one transfer to set the domino effect of, most transfers aren't related to each other. Yeah, absolutely. We're luck now with in terms of Arsenal. Is it the Thomas Partey situation? Where I think Sky Sports said that it was something to do with, if Declan Rice does join, then Partey will be allowed to leave. But then I think Fabrizio Romano has even turned around and gone that the Xhaka deal is most likely to be the one that will allow, if Rice comes in, Xhaka will be allowed to be let go. I think even Fabrizio Romano tweeted out again today saying that pretty much if Arsenal do let Thomas Partey go, that they'll end up signing two more midfielders, not including Rice. Which I think you look at it, who are they going to sign? Are they going to go? Are they going to go for Caicedo? Are they going to challenge Chelsea for him? Romeo Lavia as well. I think he's another one that Arsenal, I think, are after at the moment. I don't know whether or not if Kai Havertz includes in that midfield bracket for Arsenal as well. So again, there's options out there. Of course, Gabri Veiga that we're going to talk about tonight as well. Arsenal could go in for him. So there are plenty of midfielders out there. It's just depending on why and realistically what on earth they're going to do this summer. But again, look, obviously there's so many people on other clubs' lists that nobody knows about. Look at us, for example, Fabinho. That one summer, nobody had Fabinho on the list. We all said that. Oh, when you looked at a DM, yeah, Liverpool was amazing, but look, there's about 10, 15 people that we don't know about, and that nobody reports on. Either the fact that the club look at as well. So hopefully there will be something the next couple of weeks anyway. But thought we would have signed at least one more player by now, especially for such a low price for Thuram as well. Yeah, I think 45 million is it, chat? I think for Thuram at the moment that's getting spoken about. Again, I do think things will get done after the Euros. Because again, everyone's there at the minute. We're going to talk about Gravenberch and that, but you look at the list, and I think the Athletic, they did a thing on it when you looked at it, and it was like every single Liverpool target in midfield at the moment is at the under 21 Euros. So it's a bit frustrating in that part as well. Like, remember when we all knew Shaqiri was going to join Liverpool when I think it was the Euro 2016 or 2018, sorry, that came around. We all knew Shaqiri was going to be a Liverpool player, and we had to wait until after the Euros until we could finally get that to be a done deal as well. But tournaments have just finished, so expect more transfers as well. True, that's very, very true. We want to cater Milner on new deals. Makes me think a rebuild was never on the cards, but we live in hope. Again, that's the hope and dream, isn't it? Adventure as well. But the signing talk just gets ridiculous at times. That's probably just Twitter, to be fair. Yeah, no, it is absolutely. Look, again, I think you have two. You have two halves of Liverpool fan base on Twitter. You have the optimistic kind that think that again things will be all right this summer. We'll do well in terms of getting the targets we need, or we'll come out on the better side of the transfer window. And then you have the doom and gloom side of Twitter, which is the negative. Nothing, if Jurgen sneezed, it wouldn't be good enough in that sense, or if a player just looked the wrong way, it wouldn't be good enough. And yeah, you guys should know what I'm going on about on Twitter and that. But yeah, it's just honestly the negative people on social media is unbelievable. It is truly unbelievable. But yeah, that's why we say it in a safe space, don't we, chat as well. But what else we have? I think we will sign one more player, but I don't think we'll bring the amount of players we probably need. If you ask my opinion, Adventure, I think Liverpool signed 3 more players this window. I think we signed two. We signed 2 more midfielders, and we signed a centre half. I think that's. Did I say 3 or 4? I think 3 more players we'll bring in. So again, two centre mids and a defender. I think that's what we bring in. Realistically, I think we need 3 midfielders and a centre half. So, or 2 midfielders, a centre half and a right back, depending on which way we want to do it, of course, as well. But Andrew saying, hello, lads. I had a great weekend with you. Also went to see the new Transformers movie today. Absolutely incredible with seeing. It's also, yes, I'm fed up. We haven't done much activity as well. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. It's been a bit annoying, isn't it? But I don't see why we have football ongoing through the transfer window. It's always the case, isn't it? Chantal said we need to try and get Brighton's recruitment team. They sign unknown players but sell them for a high premium as well. That's the proper FSG way, isn't it? In terms of being a selling club. In that regard, I think maybe that's why I think that was it. The Boca Juniors DM that got rumored, I think, on Saturday morning. Again, I don't know whether or not Liverpool will go for him, but it's a player that somebody like a Brighton would go and sign and then sell him for about 60, 70 million the next season. So, again, teams need to do that. They need to start looking at hidden gems. Because, again, what's annoying is Liverpool, you look at Alexis McAllister, for example, Liverpool, I think we scouted and we watched Alexis McAllister back in 2018. And that's the annoying part where, again, you let him play through, from Bocas, and then, go Brighton, and then, we're like, oh yeah, we'll pay 35 mil for him, even though we could have got for him for like 5 million 2 years ago. But that's the annoying part about it. And this is why I want us to take a little bit of a risk. Like when we talk about Kefran Turan, for example, again, judging from the people that have spoken the loudest about Kefran Turan to Liverpool, everyone has said that in 2-3 years' time, under the right guidance and the right development, Kefran Turan could be one of the best midfielders in world football, and that's what I want. I want Liverpool to, to have the better years of players, for example. But again, obviously, 9 times out of 10 they work, but that one time, yeah, it's not the best when it does go wrong as well. But even Andrew as well. Why do we have news? Because we have news for some reason. But no. Look, again, it's not much news tonight. Of course, it is just a bit of retracing, is it, or retracking in that sense? But again, I'll go through it in a moment anyway. But if we were going out buying kids and unknown South Americans for 3-4 million quid, some fans would lose their minds. Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like people go like, oh, like we're only spending 5-6 million on this particular player. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Like, come on, like, if we sign someone that, for example, like I can't remember his name, but the Boca Juniors DM that was linked, Saturday, sorry. If Liverpool end up signing him, which I think he's available for like 10 million quid, if Liverpool signed him for 10 million and he ends up being the best DM around or in Europe, everyone's like, oh, that was such an amazing deal, this, that, and the other. But they'll be at the beginning part, it'll be like exactly as that. It's like, oh, why are we spending £10 million on a nobody, this, that, and the other? Like, we don't do this. We go and do. It's so stupid. Like, that's the thing. Like, you look at Brighton, but it's not only Brighton. You look around Europe, like Benfica, for example. Benfica are the best at finding South American talent. Look at their sales over the last 10 years, where they've sold, what was it, around 100 million, not 100 million, sorry, 100 billion, I think it is, in terms of development. I think it's around 100 billion or something like that, for player sales, and more importantly, South Americans as well. So they've got that network and they've got that success there that more teams should look at it. And they just don't. It's really frustrating. Look at Brighton, for example. Moises Caicedo, what was it, 3, 4 million, 5 million even. Uh, Alexis McAllister, that's probably more than I'm not remembering right now. But again, you have to take the odd gamble here and there. But it depends who else we bring in, to be fair. And Brighton can do that and develop them. The demands are different at Liverpool. That is true. But I also feel like even now, Liverpool could sign, for example, we could sign a midfielder. They wouldn't have to walk into again. Obviously, now it's a bit different because of the situation around Liverpool, in the midfield area. But even back, probably after the Champions League, for example, when we won it, if we had signed a midfielder that only cost 3.5 million, or 4.5, or whatever, and then ended up slowly then getting him into the first team and developing him correctly, and now you'd have him in that midfield being amazing and this, that, and the other. That is what I'd hope we do. But that's the thing where, and this is what Real Madrid, in my opinion, have done amazingly well. And I think probably the best team in Europe to do it. And I know they have spent, millions, like Jude Bellingham, for example, going for 130 million. But again, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde, Jude Bellingham, their midfield is sound for the next 10 years, at least. And that's the thing where, but while they've still got Modric, Cruz, they did have Casemiro there as well, while Tchouaméni and Camavinga was there as well. So they've had chance to, blend them in a little bit. And that's what Liverpool should have done when we had the peak of Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago. It should have then been, we had people ready. Again, Curtis Jones is in that bracket a little bit, and maybe Harvey Elliott, but instead we ended up having Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain there as the fourth, fifth choice. And again, it's not good enough in that way, as well. But again, it just depends on models as well. To be fair, but it's a bit annoying. But Trent better not be right back, surely, and not after England role as well. I think many people have that same opinion. I personally think he still plays at right back. But again, that's just my opinion. I think the issue is going back to the Houllier days. Houllier said himself, Liverpool look for bargaining young players, just like they looked for bargaining first team signings as well. Yeah, I absolutely agree with their venture. Being the big signing, then a few. Yeah, I can't really talk. A few stealthy maybe as well. Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed as well. Anyway, but we will dive into the news anyway. And of course, we're going to talk about Mickey van der Ven, of course. And there's been a little bit of news concerning him, of course. It does come from the Wolfsburg. Again, I'm not going to pronounce the last one because, again, I don't want to really butcher it. Yeah, I think it's like a forum thing for Wolfsburg. Anyway, of course, like similar like Anfield Rap, or something like that, of course. But it does say Wolfsburg are cool with the speculation surrounding Mickey van der Ven leaving. However, they are yet to receive any offer for his services, and he will not be sold this summer for anything less than 30 million euros, which of course is around 25.7 million pounds. Now, Florian Plintenberg as well has come out, I believe on Friday, I think it was, and said that Bayern Munich were also interested in Mickey van der Ven, but at the moment, Mickey van der Ven does prefer a Liverpool move. Now, of course, we know he's a Liverpool fan. Obviously, if you I don't know already, of course, I think he was at the Liverpool-Arsenal game a couple of years ago. I think he was in the Cup as well with his dad. So, again, massive Liverpool fan. So, again, it would be interesting to know whether or not Liverpool would pay that amount of money for him. As well, I think he's 22 years of age, left-sided centre half, so he does fit the bill for Liverpool. I think even David Lynch as well, from Football Insider, I think he even said as well that Mickey van der Ven is very high on Liverpool's list at the moment. Obviously, I think if we were to look at that left-sided centre half in terms of who would Liverpool want if money wasn't a problem, of course that would be Gvardiol, but unfortunately, again, it looks like he will be going for 100 million euros at this point anyway, judging from a few RB Leipzig supporters and I think just Leipzig and themselves saying that look, it's going to be around 100 million euros, which again I think is around, is it 86 million pounds for him. But of course, if we can get Mickey van der Ven for, as it says, but in terms of 25 million, would you be happy with that, chat? I think there's probably a little bit more leg room for that. I think Liverpool will try. Um, would be interesting to see whether or not and see what Liverpool could get it to. But again, would you be happy for 25 million? I know that a couple of people last night on Twitter was like, oh, potentially Liverpool should go after obviously Jurriën Timber. Because I think Arsenal at the minute, I think they bid 30 million for him last night, and everyone was like, oh, why Liverpool after this type of deal? It looks like that's going to be around 50, 60 million pounds by the looks of things at the moment. But even still, I think Van der Ven, pacey centre off. Again, I don't know too much about him. Just a little bit of highlights where I've seen from him. Again, he does look very calm on the ball as well, which for that left back, left-sided centre off position for Liverpool, it is needed. Even if Liverpool do play and go back to the 4-3-3 that we've known for over the years, I think having a left-sided centre off is so important because at the moment we've got Joel Matip and Joe Gomez, who are both right-sided centre offs. Of course, so having one of them play on the left, of course, it does take a bit of time in that regard. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway on Mickey van der Ven. And yeah, would you like him at Liverpool? I think it'd be an interesting one personally. Again, one for the future. And I think a lot of Bundesliga people that I've just seen, like people speaking on Redmen. I think Anfield Rap as well. They've said that he does have a very high ceiling, which again, if he was to play under Jurgen Klopp, could be a bit of good business in that regard. So again, we'll just have to see. Anyway, of course, but do you think there's a lack of interest in the likes of Hendo, Fab, etc., like with Ox and Keita, because you can't sell players no one wants as well? Wait until the Saudis come in, boys. As well, obviously we'll talk a little bit about that later on. But I'd never heard of him until we were linked with him as well. I don't think anyone had. I think the only time I ever heard about him was that clearance that he made. That was the only time I think I've ever heard of Mickey van der Ven. But look, could be a hidden gem, like we spoke about as well. But I know nothing about Van der Ven as well. Yeah, he's 22 years of age. Is he? Yeah, Dutch international as well. I was going to say German then. Yeah, he's Dutch international. So again, we link up with Cody Gakpo and of course Virgil van Dijk as well. I almost forgot Virgil's name then. But yeah, no, of course, very tall guy, very calm. Yeah, that does seem the correct description for Mickey van der Ven. I take Walker as a right back option, but only if he was a free. Yeah, there's no way Kyle Walker's joining Liverpool. I seen that rumor yesterday, and I was like, yeah, there's absolutely no way Liverpool get Kyle Walker. I think he ends up signing a new deal, chat, if I'm being perfectly honest. If not, Bayern, is it a good move? Considering the fact that they were so high on Cancelo in January, and then seeing how badly that happened, and so on. But I think, look, if he does go, he's done everything at City now, hasn't he? Unfortunately, so yeah, absolutely. But they're prioritising a left-footed centre back as well. Yeah, that's the general consensus in terms of links and rumours at the moment. I think if anything was to happen, I think if Liverpool could sign a left-sided centre half and a right back, or a right back that could play multiple positions, because of course you've got to a little bit change your approach now, because you don't have a James Milner there, to just, to fill in left back or fill in right back, in that regard as well. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, of course. But uh, isn't that the Inter defender chat as well? Yeah, no, he is going to PSG. Again, I can't. What is his name? Spicer or Skids? Skriniar, is it? I think it is. Again, I apologize if I butchered his name. But yeah, he is going to PSG. He is as well. Hello, Ricky. As well, saying get FSG out of this club. Embarrassing. Rick, it's 6 days since the transfer window's been open, and you're already saying FSG out. I agree, by the way, but calm it, lads. Calm it. Stop being negative, lads. Be positive. He's going to absolutely hate me for saying that. Evening, Ricky, as well. Walker has more league titles than brain cells. A bit harsh, like, but probably true. Hey, Mark, as well. Obviously, the link for 1882 Reds TV as well. Go and subscribe. Not that easy, though, as well. Yeah, it's one of those ones, chat, that look, I think when you look at it, like how much would City get for Walker? 30 mil, is it? I think that's got rumored. If that was to be the case, I don't know. Is he on a free though, chat? Again, I don't know. I've not really looked into it, but I think they could probably still get 30 mil from it. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, but we are going to move on anyway, chat, and we're going to talk about Nikolai Barella. Of course, obviously, part of the title as well for tonight's show. But as you can see by here anyway, I will quickly scroll that down for you guys, of course, and make it full screen. But yeah, according to, obviously, this is from the Anfield's, that obviously this is Anfield, obviously it is paragraphed as well. I will quickly get that off. I hate when adverts just pop up, man. It's very, very annoying. Anyway, but of course, Liverpool still interested in Nikolai Barella, but high price tag has been set. Of course, Liverpool remain interested in Inter Milan midfielder Nikolai Barella. Made links with a host of others, though his price tag may be too high as well. Excuse me. Of course, according to the Independent's Miguel Delaney, of course, negotiations are ongoing between Newcastle Inter regarding a possible deal. However, Liverpool are described as similarly interested, as they feel his energy fits exactly what they want from a second midfielder to complement, Alexis McAllister. Obviously, McAllister signed for 35 million from Brighton, is expected to take an advanced left-sided role in Jurgen Klopp's midfield. Now, it does go on to say as well, but it says the next priority will be fill in the right side role, and Barella fits the bill, though Delane stressed that, like in Newcastle, Liverpool believe the price is currently far too high. And as you can see, but Inter, who paid 40 million to sign their number 23, are looking for an 80 million pound fee, with Newcastle only willing to pay 50 million pounds. Now, 80 million pounds for Nikolai Barella. For me, look, is he a good player? Of course he is. Look, he's got to a Champions League final with Inter Milan. There's always that was name of course, Italian players, or certainly Italian midfielders in the Premier League. Would I sign Barella for 80 million? No, personally. Do I think he's a good player? Yes, I do. Do I think he's 80 million pounds worth? No, I don't. But at the moment, of course, Inter are in a bit of trouble financially, of course. And maybe he is probably one of their only big sellable assets in that regard. But I think, let me know your guys' thoughts as well. How much do you value Barella? Of course, obviously they could just turn on again, Euro winner, Champions League finalists. Again, you look at the goals and assists he gets in that Inter Milan side, he would fit the bill brilliantly in Liverpool. He would, absolutely, especially if we're going to be playing in this new way. I know Jack's going to be fuming as well for me saying that I wouldn't sign Barella for 80 million, to be fair. But for me, I think, look, if an opportunity was there to sign Barella at a reasonable price, absolutely, I think Liverpool should be all over it, 1,000%. But it's it's that sense of, again, though, it's, at 80 million quid, obviously a guy that's just turned 27. I think Liverpool are very much in that in that ballpark of, you've got to be somewhere between 22 and 24. I think this season, especially judging from everyone we've been linked with. But look, again, I've said this opinion for, for probably like a year and a half. I do think that Barella is going to go to Man City. I just have a feeling, especially if Bernardo Silva goes, and of course Mahrez goes as well, because of course I think Barella, he can venture out wide as well. Obviously coming, playing from the midfield, but I think it will be interesting to see where he ends up. Obviously, I think he might even stay at Inter as well. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts. How much do you value Barella? Of course, could he end up going to Newcastle as well with the Champions League money? Who knows? But again, I do think that if I was to say where he'll be next season, I think he'll either be at Inter or City. For me, if I'm being perfectly honest, anyway. But Arsenal finished second, going for top players. What, Declan Rice for 100 mil? So of course, I'm gonna get absolutely butchered for that. But we're looking for bargains, like we shop in Poland. It's tragic. Bloody hell. FSG in the build John Henry a statue. Bloody hell, Brian. Why are we not at the big boy table as well? Maybe we just don't want Declan Rice. I don't know if you thought about that, Rick. Again, would I like Declan Rice at Liverpool? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But by the looks of things, Liverpool might look at a more creative six than a, because again, like, people go, oh, Declan Rice is an out and out number six. He's not an out and out number six. Like, this is why I think in an Arsenal team he'd be perfect, because he'd be playing alongside someone. Because again, Arsenal play 4-2-3-1, Liverpool play 4-3-3 or the new 3-4-3 role. So he's going to be either taking, he's going to be either be taking that left hand side role, which currently is Alexis McAllister's, or we are going to play him at DM if we was to sign him. But I don't know. Like, am I the only one that thinks that as well, chat? That Declan Rice isn't an out and out DM. I think he can play as an 8 in that regard. But yeah, no, I do think that he can play as a 6, but I think he's more suited to an 8 role. For being honest, anyway. But we hardly ever go for top tier players as well. Yeah, that's true. Again, Virgil, Ali, the only exceptions in that regard. I'd say more Ali though as well. I think Virgil was a risk a little bit. I think Ali was clean. It was plain to see from the previous season that he was one hell of a goalkeeper, probably the best in the world when we did sign him at the time as well. But we need to, otherwise we will fall even further behind Mark as well. We will sign one more player and that will be it. No, I think we'll sign 2-3 more in the summer anyway. But there's stealthy buys and a few kids as well. Bicetic there as well. He's gonna have a big season, 100%. But yeah, no, I do think it's gonna be. I think three. I think we signed 3 more players, so it'll be 4 in total this summer for Liverpool. Barella wouldn't last 5 minutes in Newcastle as well. I don't think he goes Newcastle. Was it like? I feel like it's that similar approach with, was it Griezmann? When I think if anyone's is in, well, can't really talk. If anyone has ever seen that Football Manager video with Griezmann, when I think Mbappe was playing it, he was like, "Oh, I've just signed you for Newcastle," and he was like, "Who?" And like, Newcastle. I was like, "Never want to go there." Like, I feel like Barella would have that same approach or feeling, maybe as well. But yeah, no. Again, Champions League though, it is that whole factor of oh, you're in the Champions League. That will be a big thing for Newcastle next season, 100%. And plus, they've actually got history behind them as well, so that fits that bill as well. But hearing the new stand will not be ready for the start of the new season, the end of September now. So they will be a few in-season ticket holders with no seats as well. Oh, bloody hell, Barry. I haven't heard that. Of course, seen the obviously it was there on Sunday, I think. Was we up there Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. I was at Anfield, and to be fair, it did look very, very busy with the new construction. Because I think they were moving, I think, the last part of the roof out as well, because there was big lorries there. So again, hopefully it will get done on time. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but they're trying to get Twitch to away games as well. Yeah, it'll be similar like the main stand. It'll be like three away games to begin the season off, and then we'll have those back and reversed as well. So yeah, hopefully, anyway, things will be all good for the start of the season, of course. But yeah, there shouldn't be no problem in that regard anyway. But I wouldn't sign him at any money, never buy Italians. Obviously, asking for trouble in that regard. Says Bry, have to because in progress. Yeah, no, that's the thing though. Like, I just still think that he goes to City, for being perfectly honest. But yeah. FSG's owners, financial. Yeah, I've seen this. I did retweet it as well. It was a good article piece. I'll have to try and get it for tomorrow, guys, as well. But the FSG's owner financing over the last 5 years is minus 37 million. That's the second lowest figure in the entire Premier League. Yeah, not good enough. Realistically, I think that's the best way of putting it anyway. Defo wide 8, says Mark. He can play box to box or holding as well. But yeah, I think the Rice could be. I think he's better box to box than he is holding, being honest. But who's most likely we're going to sign? I'd still say Kefren Turam, for being perfectly honest. But again, who knows? But still, can still see Villa buying big as well. Villa will buy big. They've got their owners are huge in that regard as well. Obviously, Raz is saying it's a lot of that and FSG out. Fair enough, but again, again, to be fair, we haven't really said anything in that regards in terms of FSG. Easier said than done as well. We think we are a big club, but move like a first division side in the transfer window. Yeah, that is true. Absolutely, 100%. City again, Kovacic. Yeah, 25 mil as a chat. And I think good signing. I'm not gonna lie. Market's impossible to do. How can you make someone sell something they own? Just waste the energy as well. But obviously, wrestling, where's the money? So what's the news for tonight? We'll get on to it, Colin. Of course, we've already spoken about Mickey van der Ven and Barella. Of course, I'll get on to Ryan Gravenberch and obviously Gary Vega as well. We'll actually get on to Gary Vega now then, chat. Of course, the Celta Vigo midfielder, which, by the way, he's going to be, well, the manager, or the new manager of Celta Vigo, is said to be Rafa Benitez as well. So that's a very good sign in that regard as well. But hopefully, obviously, Rafa will do a good job at Celta Vigo anyway. But according to Florian Plintenberg, anyway, he has come out and said, obviously, this was earlier on, saying that Gabri Vega is ready for the next step. Now he will leave Celta Vigo. His management is considering many options as he could become a future top player in the central midfield. As he contact and talk with Chelsea and others. Release clause is around 40 million euros. Bayern Munich are not involved at this stage. And of course, Matteo Moratto as well, also coming out and saying, as things stand, Liverpool and Chelsea have taken the most steps to try and convince Gabri Vega to join them this summer. However, everything now depends on which club will pay the 40 million euro, release clause to secure the signing. Now, going back to obviously going back to Florian Plintenberg's quote, where he says about Chelsea. Obviously, the rumor is at the minute that Chelsea are going to go big for Gabri Vega and Moises Caicedo at the moment, which of course isn't good for Liverpool if that is the case that we want him. But at the moment, I do think, especially with that 40 million pounds. But at the moment, I think realistically, would it be potentially Liverpool again in terms of that 40 million euros? Are we waiting for at the moment for obviously Kefran Turan to be done and then something else to happen? Who knows? But obviously, with like I said, Florian Plintenberg saying again with Chelsea, obviously contact with Chelsea, and of course, obviously Liverpool and Chelsea being the ones that I've pushed the most so far. Judging from, of course, obviously all the news around the Saudis and Chelsea at the moment, it does feel that Chelsea will go big in for Gabby Vega. I think Chelsea fans, of course, were saying um, that it would be potentially um, something in the region of, being Chelsea and Liverpool fighting out for it. Sorry, chat. I'm just reading the chat. Raz, if you don't stop it, lad, I'm going to ban you. Again, let me quickly read. I've just quickly gone over it. Yeah, Raz, anymore, and I will ban you because again, respect other people's views. And again, like as as Rob said there, obviously don't Raz behave. Actually, to be fair, you know what? There we go. I can't be bothered. Again, you can have your thoughts on FSG. You can have your thoughts on negative transfers and that. Again, when you start fighting, being toxic in the chat and that, you're out. That's the main thing. Anyway, but yeah, what I was saying was again, I think Chelsea are going to push massively for Gabby Vega, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did bid for him in the next week. I was like watching something earlier on that they're going to try and maybe get Moises Caicedo and Gabby Vega done in the next week, which would it be the worst thing in the world for Liverpool not to get him? I don't know. I think looking at his stats, he is a very attack-minded centre mid. Of course, I think at the moment, Liverpool, and we're going to talk about Gravenberch in a moment, the main targets are Gravenberch, not Gravenberch, sorry, Thuram, Kone, could potentially be Gravenberch as well. But who knows anyway. But we're going to quickly move on to Gravenberch anyway, chat, and discuss him, of course. And obviously, it came up from I think as in Miller, I think it was Myler, saying that Liverpool are pushing to sign Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich this summer, with the player open to an exit from the Bundesliga giants, with the club aware that his future will be re-evaluated after the player returns from international duty. Jurgen Klopp has received a green light on the transfer data, and it does also go on to say, well, obviously this was from today as well, saying from Redman, of course, saying that Ryan Gravenberch is very interested and wants to move to Liverpool. He has already told his teammates that he is not happy at Bayern and he would like to leave. Now, of course, like I said earlier on in the show, Liverpool are a bit, their hands are tied behind their back a little bit because at the moment you've got everyone at the Euro under 21 tournament. Of course, you've got Thuram there, Kone's there, Gravenberch is there, Gabby Vega's there as well. So every single player is there at the moment. So until that tournament is done, of course, you're not going to get a transfer done because, of course, I don't know specifically how it works in terms of getting a medical done and this, that, and the other. But of course, that's the big problem because, of course, if for example, Liverpool were to going to push for Kefran Turan, for example, you then got to bring in a third party. You've got Liverpool, you've got Nice, then you've got the French Federation, which we all know what they're like. But again, in terms of Gravenberch, nothing will get done with him until they speak with, of course, until he speaks, sorry, with Thomas Tuchel and the Bayern board. Of course, Bayern could completely go and give him a pile of lies, like what they did last year when they said to him and his team that again, you'll play plenty of minutes this season, you'll get plenty of starts, this, that, and the other. That didn't happen, of course. Obviously, with the changeover from Nagelsmann to Tuchel, of course, it didn't fruition in terms of Liverpool, in terms of Gravenberch starting many games. But of course, I think if there is any indication that Gravenberch can go, and Liverpool can get the deal done, then Liverpool will be there straight away. Because I think Gravenberch would be pretty good for what Liverpool needs in terms of, again, can fit that right-sided centre mid and could probably play DM if we needed to in that regard. But again, it will be interesting, of course, anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well down below. But Mark saying we lack a few holding players as well. Thuram could play there potentially. Gravenberch, well, we do get Gravenberch, but if we do get him, I hope he doesn't expect to immediately be first choice here too as well. No, I think Jurgen will be real with him. I think, judging from the conversations, I think that most German journalists have spoken about it, Bayern give him a lot of false hopes from what they expected. And yeah, but by the looks of things, I think you're going to be pretty much straightforward with him. It's like, look, you probably will play 80%, 70% of the games, but you won't play week in, week out because, again, the midfield will change week in, week out with the amount of games that we've got. And yeah, that's the thing. That if we do sign Thuram and we do sign Gravenberch, the height in the team has certainly gone up quite a lot, of course. Because I think Gravenberch is around 6'2" as well. So again, the height that Jurgen Klopp wants in the midfield and the physicality will hopefully be back there as well. That's the hope for Liverpool anyway. But obviously the green light in terms of data as well, that's the big one. So again, that's a good sign, of course, for Ryan Gravenberch in Liverpool. But still building for a fast, effective counter-attack as well. Yeah, that's the hope and dream, isn't it, Mark? But that's the thing, though. We want to stop it the other way around, though. We want to stop quick fire counter-attacks from other teams because we suffered massively from that last season. And hopefully Gravenberch, Thuram, McAllister could do that for Liverpool next season. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but Brian saying McAllister, Thuram, and Gravenberch still feels like we're short of a proper DM. Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely. Maybe we go and sign that Boca DM. Like I said, 10 million. Judging from what I've seen in terms of the data, it looks sound. Again, I'm not going to say I've watched him week in, week out, but he looks pretty good in terms of the data stuff. But again, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we, on what this summer does bring us anyway. But guys, I'm going to leave it there for tonight anyway. A big thank you to all of you guys. So anyway, the normal ones that are respectful in the comments. Well, apologies for, again, did I lose it? Probably. I lost it a little bit. But again, I don't mind people coming in. And again, you can have your thoughts, you can have your opinions, you can hate FSG, but there's certain parts of that I don't like about FSG. Am I FSG out? Yes, but when you don't respect other people's comments, and it happens multiple times, you're gone. End of. Been pretty clear with that since day one on the channel anyway. But again, nevertheless, it's good to be back. Of course, it's been a couple of days since we've been live. So again, massive appreciation to all of you guys as well for tuning in. Of course, we'll be live again tomorrow probably with another news episode. Probably got a video coming up, I think, as well. I think in midweek about Trent as well, whether or not he should play in midfield or be Liverpool's right back for next season anyway. But of course, we'll let you guys know when we go live or post the video anyway. But if you are new, please hit the like button. Please hit that subscribe button anyway. And yeah, hopefully all of you have a fantastic rest of your night anyway. But I've been calling out from the COP Council. I'll see you all then. Ta-ra.